and welcome back to the Stone Ranger. You're joining me in the workshop today and I've got a really important project on my desk. It's my sister's birthday this weekend and my sister's one of them people that really appreciate something homemade. So I've given my sister lots of things I've made over the years, but like bird baths, chopping boards, all sorts of different things. But the stuff I've just made and they weren't personally for her. So because it's her birthday this weekend and I know how much she appreciates stuff what's homemade, I've decided to carve her star sign, stumbling over words there, in a piece of nice Derbyshire gritstone. So I'm going to carve this. It's the bull, the Taurus side in relief. So I'm going to carve this out. So I actually marked the stencil on last night. So I cut it yesterday, just simple on a piece of cardboard. I didn't use the machine, did it the old school way. A piece of red card, Stanley knife, marked it on. So I marked it on last night before I went to five-a-side football. Like I've said in previous videos, I like the graphite to pull into the stone, and I find that works better if you can give it a couple of hours, damp stone, mark it on, and it draws it in. If you mark it on when it's too dry, you blow it away or get a brush on it, either smudges or it just disappears. So the overall plan with this is to mount this into this frame, and I'm hoping it'll sit in this frame nicely. It'll pop out because it's in relief. I did something similar to this probably 18 months ago when I first started this channel for a friend's birthday, but I'm hoping we've learned a lot since then, especially using the camera. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get my safety specs on. I'm going to get my chisel sharpened up. I'll bring you in a little bit closer and I'm going to talk you through a few techniques as we're going along, rather than just put you on speed. Talk you through the few angles I hold the chisels along the way, just little snippets here and there, so if you're going to do a project like this yourself you can refer back to it. And if you're enjoying the video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. So yeah, mark up the chisels now and then we'll get doing a bit of carving. So you're watching me go around the bull there with the chisels. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm using my 4mm tungsten chisel. So for this part of the job, and actually most of the way through, I've got a selection of 3 chisels. So I've got my 6mm, my 3mm and the 4mm I'm using. I've got 2 hammers. I've got my nylon hammer and my dummy hammer. Weights will be on the screen, and I've also got my Turk's head just for cleaning it off. If you watched any of my other videos, you'll know the Turk's head's always there, really nice brush just to clean it off. So the first thing I'm doing when I'm going round the bull's face here, or the bull in general, here, is getting my 4mm chisel, safety specs on, just starting off with the dummy hammer. We'll move on to the nylon hammer in a minute, and I'm just holding the chisel, as I normally do, down my fingers there with on the flat side, just got my thumb holding it. You can feel the pressure on the bottom of here. So if you can't feel the pressure there and there, I don't feel like you're holding it right. So you're in control of the chisel, but you're also kind of letting it move nicely. So that's how I like to use my palm. It's that flat. I'm holding it, and I'm holding the chisel just after 1 o'clock, is if you're looking at it on a clock face. And I'm just consistent blows. So you tap, then blow. You don't want to put grooves into the stone so you've got loads to tidy up afterwards. You want a consistent blow, holding the chisel, same angle, consistently round. Then when you've gone round all of it there, like I have done now, I'm going to move on to the next chisel. So I'm going to move on to the 6mm chisel. Don't worry, I'm going to, as I start doing this more, once I've done some speaking, I'm going to bring it in closer so you can really see me little chisel work. So what I'm doing then, I'm moving on to the next piece, and I'm going to start making it a lot deeper around the bull's face. And again, I'm starting with the chisel at 2:15, and as I'm going in, I'm just raising it and shallowing it as I need to get that right angle as it changes around the face. So what I'll do now, once I've taken this bit off, I'll change hammers. I'll change the weight of the hammer. So we're getting to the point now where I want to be using my nylon hammer. Just to get where you can hear the difference in there. So I'll bring that in, and so you can see how I'm working and how it's looking. we'll do lots of work, and then I'll jump back on and explain to you some of the next pieces I'm going to do. So you've just been watching me go back round on that different angle there as I come round. So I've just been holding that just following that angle we put on earlier, just following it round, just neating it up, keeping it tidy. Again, consistent strokes with the hammer make your life so much easier, and just gliding that chisel round and just changing the angle as I need it. So if I'm coming around that corner as I'm hitting it, I can just change the angle. I can add to suit me as I'm going. Some bits of stone needed a bit more on than the others. So yeah, so I've started that going round. It's starting to neaten up now. I've got lots of material to move on the outside, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to start putting some of these lines on the face of the bull and the horns before we wash them all away as we're brushing away. Like I said before, it holds on well when you soak that graphite in, but only to a point. It's not going to stay on. Like if you use a mason's pencil, it'll stay on there so much better, but then I don't like to use a mason's pencil because getting it off at the end, if you've got anything left, can be really difficult. It just takes a lot of scrubbing. So yeah, I'm going to start now putting a few of these lines in. You'll have noticed that I've moved it off the Lazy Susan. So the Lazy Susan is great. Always fall into this trap. For the bigger piece of stone, perfect. For this size, it can jump about a little bit, and actually because it's so light and on this bit of carpet, it's perfect just to spin it around by hand. So actually you're not saving anything by having it, but they are really good. I have quite a few of these, really good for different jobs. So I'm just spinning it on the carpet now. So yeah, I'll bring you in again. I'll just start putting a few of these lines in, and then we'll just keep adding to it over the next hour or so, hour and a half, and see how things get on. Right, let's keep going. Little bit of bad news. As I was chiseling away, I managed to break it. It's but it happens. And like I always say to the people when I'm teaching them a bit of stonework, it's only a bit of stone. It doesn't matter. There's always another piece of stone. So the first thing I'm going to do next is try and salvage it. So I'm going to cut the stone. I'm going to get the square out. I'm going to see how it cuts and square it up, see how it looks, potentially just order a smaller frame, see how it fits in. If not, we'll just start again. I'll possibly finish this bull anyway, I think it'll be nice. So yeah, so all is not lost just yet, but I'm going to stick it on the saw, square it up, cut it, and then we'll carry on. But it happens, so yeah, let's carry on. So I got it all finished up, well, finished up to a certain standard anyway, so I'm not going to just keep going and going and going, but I wanted to finish it to a standard where it can go on that shelf, the one that got away, the one what didn't quite work. So by the time I'd squared that up on the saw, it was all out of proportion and we were never going to use it as its original purpose. But like I say, I finished it to a certain standard. It'll go on the shelf unless someone comes along and says they like it and they can have it, a little bit of a freebie, or somebody wants it, they're welcome to it. So yeah, I appreciate all your time watching, and I hope you've learned something. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time.